I know, I love doing this shit to people that like never done it and they're like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing right now. You just talk.
I've never been interviewed before.
Good.
Just kidding.
Good. I'm about to say, I thought you really have.
Yeah, several times. I used to have to pray at church, right in front of everybody. So this just should be easier.
Yeah, I was about to say, this is two stoners in the shed not worrying about shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, not God. God's not here.
God's not dead. No, he's still alive. All right. Welcome back to Hashlab TV, man. The most promised interview that I told you I was going to give you, man. 904 Pizza Boy, he's here. I made the shit happen. So let's get down with it, man. Let's start off with a proper start. Everybody always asks you where the fuck you got the name. So where does it come from?
I used to work at a pizza place, did a bunch of graffiti, sold a bunch of things there in the parking lot, and then quit working there, and the name stuck. And started blowing glass almost immediately afterwards. So that was kind of just the natural transition there.
Yeah, but you were tagging Pizza Boy for years.
Yeah, I mean,
you?
it was graffiti since I moved here to Jacksonville when I turned 18, so almost 10 years now. And I've been blowing glass for about 5 years. So five of that was just graffiti, product design, stickers, t-shirts, toys, and then moving into the glass industry from there. Hell
yeah. And you've been making a pretty fucking good way. Oh yeah, sorry, bro. You're gonna have to fight some bugs these days. Shed light.
Oh, Mr. Miyagi, that.
But no, man. So when did you move to Florida?
So the day I turned 18, actually, my family moved to Jacksonville.
Oh shit. So you've always been in Jacksonville when you came to Florida?
Yes.
Okay. So that's pretty fucking fire, dude. How do you feel about the glass industry, like back then compared to now?
So when I came into the glass industry, it was just on the cusp of COVID and like a bunch of import issues happening in like 2020, 2019. And so with all that going on, there was a huge demand for local glass and for like locally produced products because of the import tax and the time it was taking to get everything in. So it was like a huge boom in the industry for those first like 2 or 3 years that I was really blowing glass and hitting trade shows and doing that scene. And then it's just pretty much been a total overall decline probably in the last year and a half for, it seems like, the smoke shop industry. I wouldn't even say the glass industry itself, but the smoke shop industry is kind of collapsing as far as a local market.
Yeah, I mean, well,
we're
even
getting a lot more import availability again.
Yep, exactly. Well,
thanks, Biden. In Trump's America, I could support my family making pipes.
That's fucking true though, bro. Like,
I've never voted.
It's
I'm too scared. The little boxes freak me out. I don't like the post office.
I was about to say, dude, it's like you get trapped in the
post office. If you ever have like had delays in shipping for me, it's 90% because I have a phobia of those sliding doors at the post office. I'm afraid they're going to close behind me and they're like never going to let me out. It's a real issue. This is why I have apprentices do my mail.
Bro, I've also had this conversation with you before and I thought it was bullshit until I seen real fear in your eyes.
I really don't like the post office.
He thinks it's like a prison system.
I don't know why, it's really irrational, but yeah, it's like literally like I'd rather like go to jail for a day or two.
So the style that you make your glass off of, that was all inspired by just the name?
Just the name and making what I had around me. A lot of it came from needing to eat, and I quit my job and started blowing glass within a few months of having the torch. So we needed pizza, and I figured if I could make a pizza pendant and sell it for the price of a pizza every day, then we'd at least have one meal taken care of. And
what,
so that
bro?
kind of like fed into the whole like kind of mission behind the motive for it, and the name and branding was already there. And I hadn't even made pizza pendants yet until that moment when I realized, okay, if one pendant equals one pie, then I can feed my family on this by selling one slice a day.
That's crazy.
And it kind of just building from that like foundation in my head of one slice, one pie.
That's fucking crazy, bro. I never knew that. That's actually like a very that's like a humble beginning.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Oh,
bro.
really?
Just like
Because we had a shed about the quarter the size of this one.
I
And we
remember-
were,
I remember,
ass to
bro.
ass in that bitch, two of us.
that's where I was supposed to start blowing glass, and then I got in that car accident. I
Damn
was
straight.
yeah. For the people that don't know, I was about to say I've been an apprentice for Pizza Boy for like I guess a year now.
Yeah, it should have been like about two.
It should have been 2,
2.5
but I got in a
years.
car accident right before. I was on the way to Middleburg, fucking sideswiped.
Creamed.
Yeah, dude, fucking took the fuck out. But that's life, man. Because I'm here now. He's taught me everything I fucking know, and fucking got a brand new torch now. My kiln set up.
This
Got a
guy
whole
got
shop.
A sweet kiln and a sweet torch. I'm jealous of the torch.
Wow, yours is the same, man.
No, mine doesn't have a swivel.
Oh yeah, that's true. You got the foot pedal.
No,
We'll
I
see.
like the foot pedal. I want to see which one
I was about to say we'll see.
functionality and like piecing together larger things. 'Cause
Yeah,
that one can create flames that mine doesn't create naturally.
like the in between with the larger flame.
In order for me to make the flame that this model of Mirage produces with the swivel on the back, I would physically have to turn off 2 of my ports, kick the foot pedal, and then turn on one of my oxygens to like kind of mimic that outer flame.
Shit.
Whereas that's pre-built into your
Oh, yeah, hold the
gradient.
microphone.
Pre-built into the gradient on the swivel torch. You can actually just like
So you
hit
can just
that.
hit the because you thought it was literally
Yeah.
like click on and off.
Yeah, I
like,
thought it was going to be a mechanical. I thought it was basically a foot pedal in the back of it, and it's actually
Okay.
like a transitional flow.
And that, yeah, and I didn't. I watched a video before I bought it, and that was why. That was the whole reason. I was
That
like,
part's sweet.
I was like, should I spend the extra? It was like what?
$400 or $500, maybe more.
No, well, the original module was 2,000. I paid 24 for that.
Jeez, yeah, they were 16 when I started blowing glass.
Yeah, I mean, you might find them somewhere else, but everywhere I
that's
looked was
another
literally
thing
$2,000.
that I would say is different. Like I said, the smoke shop collapsing affected a lot of orders. Like you used to just be able to go get 100 spoons, like order once a week and make 100 spoons, and that was all you had to really kind of focus on. At least for me, from 2020 to 2023, and then early 2023 to now has been the kind of collapse of smoke shops. Even just reaching out the way that I have before in the past, and the same shops that would buy stuff monthly and flip it are just not buying glass at all right now.
A lot of them shops I see are just living off vapes, bro. Like,
yeah, vapes and kratom is pretty
That's
much
what they're living
all that these smoke shops are surviving off of right now is
Yeah.
nicotine, kratom, and deli style THCA.
style THC.
Yeah.
That's very true though. But dude, like, it blows my mind because I mean, even now we see North Star shutting down, and we see all these glass
Yeah, North
companies
Star is
shutting
at
down.
risk of shutting down. They're at a 60% decrease in production. They've gone down to half of their team size, and Mountain Glass also has said that they are shrinking their warehouse 50% due to having new distribution outside of Eugene instead of Asheville. But the reality is all of these kind of businesses that we have our foundation built on for getting supplies and these distributors of raw glass material are struggling.
Yeah,
Because artists are struggling to sell work because shops aren't buying it. So the market's going to get pushed underground again
yeah.
very soon.
Yeah.
If not right now.
I mean, it's
in the
happening
next 6
currently. I already
months.
see it. Like,
And it's going to be a new wave because previously with the market being pushed underground like we've seen in the past, like Degenerate Art Form's I think 10 years old now.
mhm.
And every 5 years the glass market sees this shift. So what they were going through to an extent is what we're going to be looking at our community looking like again. But the difference is the microscope that we're under now is going to be a lot heavier. Like you're seeing Slinger's no longer able to do his Salt Girl variations.
Oh yeah, a
and
lot of
parody
cease and
work.
desists.
A lot of cease.
Yeah.
Morrison can no longer do his Muppets.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Cookie Monster rigs aren't going to be able to be a thing anymore, and this shit sucks. But it's going to push the industry to do new original product, and it's going to make us all really more creative. But it's also, with the market declining, we're going back underground. So we're going back underground in a sense of we aren't going to be able to afford brick and mortar. We aren't going to be able to afford to put ourselves on the pedestal that we have been able to with trade shows and gallery shows and shops and pop-ups and venues, because those places aren't going to be around right now. But glass as a whole, because of things like Blown Away with Netflix and just the art blowing up in the cannabis industry alongside of it in the last 2 years, we're under a lot bigger of a corporate microscope.
Yeah, yeah.
Whether it's corporate cannabis or actual corporate companies worried about parity and copyright laws. Nintendo has reps walking around 90% of these trade shows.
At least we
now.
got Mickey Mouse, dog.
Yeah, we got Mickey Mouse. But I've seen people get their entire table shut down and get handed and fucking cease and desist right there on the trade show
floor. Are you serious?
Yeah.
That is insane.
Yeah.
That is fucking insane.
So it's definitely happening a lot right now. And it's going to put some people completely under. But the other people it's going to push under. And those pieces will probably end up still getting made, but they're going to get sold on a market in which the individuals creating them cannot be identified again. Which is why I say it's going to get pushed underground, is if we want to continue making these things that we make that are countercultural and are valuable and attractive because they're wrong and shouldn't be made, like graffiti, we're going to have to dial back our egos and, you know, come up with some more fake names and make as much glass as you can under that name until you get busted and make another one.
That's what I love about the names, though, bro. That's what, if I ever interview any more fucking glass blowers, bro, it's always the name. I'm like, what the fuck did you get that name from?
Yeah, I won't be surprised if they start wearing ski masks.
Yeah, bro. I mean, it's gonna turn.
Shouts out ski mask glass. Shouts out Slum Gold.
You can only like hope that it doesn't. But like honestly, bro, like the straight trajectory has been right towards what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like,
but for the people that are passionate about it and are glass blowers and are pipe makers and aren't going to stop even if they have to go get 3 jobs to support their glass habit, are the ones that are going to be here in 5 years when the industry is on top again. And that is the trajectory market we're looking at. You know, it's just like crypto.
I'm a start dude.
Yeah.
Haven't even talked about the giant fucking Little Caesar sign. Sorry about that, bro. I just knocked it down and fucking killed us both.
Yeah, this is Duval local. This is I'm not sure which one it came from directly, but it was from a like. You
got it actually from a Little Caesars?
I got it from the junkyard that like had a bunch of signs when the Little Caesar closed. They had like flow hoods. They had like a bunch of like it's like a restaurant used in like reclaimed restaurant material. So like all the freezers, tabletops, counters, cupboards, and this bitch was like in the corner under like a tarp, and I think it cost me like $40.
What the fuck? That's cheap as shit for a fucking big ass sign like
that.
Had
to come home. We had the light for it, but we couldn't reach the cord. But it does light up for people that are wondering.
Yeah, I'm about to say we just couldn't make it shine for the podcast. Sorry.
Okay. We're shining.
So with the downfall, like of all between the trade shows, because I feel like they're gonna die off as well. Yeah. Just because they don't have as much support and people are not making enough money to even support the whole fucking thing. Like,
yeah, and the trade shows have been struggling. I mean, the last one I didn't go to as a glass artist, but we went to as a smoke shop brand selling kratom. It was just no traction. There were no shops there. It was like a vendor fest.
Well, what's the difference in like the money you've made? Like, how big of a difference?
The first trade show I ever went to when my work was at its newest and most unrefined, I made $10,000 per trade show profit after my expenses.
Gotcha.
For 4 trade shows a year. So that's $40,000 a year for the first 2 years.
Yeah.
And then 2022, 2023 went down to like $5,000 to $3,000 profit a show. And then at the tail end of that, everybody was lucky to break even.
Holy shit.
And it wasn't just me. It was pretty much everybody in the same boat kind of went at that steady rate of decline. And it got to the point this past year where if you didn't already have pre-existing relationships with shops that were buying personally to make sure that you were okay and going out of their way to support you as a person by getting your art, you did not sell anything. So if you're coming into the trade show as a new artist, it's very, very hard right now to have any traction because nobody's buying new glass.
Yeah, that's at
how a distribution level. But the direct-to-sale market is doing very well right now.
Yeah.
And that's where you see artists like Guru Glass doing really well. Shouts out Scott. His customer service and his direct-to-sale market is what lets him thrive and lets him have continuous income from his work. So that's a good example of the market right now. Somebody's still doing really well.
Yeah.
Another one is Hardcore Toke. Adapting to the whatnot style of selling glass by using the live stream, like kind of Twitch kind of style services to host
Never gets
games.
Old.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, we got to rip the blooper now. But by adapting the hardcore tote games that he started doing, he's created a market. He's created a schedule of events that, where I brought up earlier that these events aren't going to be here, so that pedestal that we could put ourselves in and the room we could put ourselves into isn't existing. He's created a new space for it virtually for himself to interact with collectors, engage with collectors, and still be able to get his work out there at a time when the market may not pay retail value. He can sell X amount of tickets for a game that he's playing where that's one of the prizes. Everybody leaves with an accessory, and the total value at least equates wholesale or more. So he's found profit margins within that I've seen.
I watched when he first started doing that with like the Pokemon cards and everything.
Super good. I used to sell glass on Whatnot. It was fantastic. If they would give me ACH payments instead of making me use PayPal, I would come back. Fuck you, PayPal.
Fuck PayPal for real.
PayPal, the world's worst money transferring service. Don't use PayPal.
Unless you want them to steal your fucking money and blame it on some bullshit.
Take it forever. There's no one to call. They don't exist. They don't have employees, as far as I can figure out. They're just evil, soulless robots.
So if it's very true though, bro.
Like a fuck PayPal, like spiral logo comes.
Fuck PayPal.
It's like, this ad is brought to you by Cash App. Cash App, the world's premier money service. Money transfer service. More than a money transfer service, it's also a bank.
It's more than a
for your direct glass transactions to collectors, and for limited wholesale shop orders. Cash App.
So do you feel like the live market is dead though? Like you would have to do an online.
I don't think the live market is dead, but I think there's a lot less lots. It's going back to lot mentality, and the lots at which you can pull up and sell glass at are a lot more limited. Farmers markets are not necessarily the most receptible place to sell pipes at. No matter how hard you try, they will chase you off.
Yeah.
So at this point, the success that I'm seeing is building your own local market, which I know is something that we've discussed for Jacksonville about doing a potential glass bash once a month and kind of creating that environment and avenue for our culture locally.
Exactly.
That the broader smoke shop scene and cannabis scene isn't going to be, put on to the position of seeing those people because of Instagram working against everybody and social media being so difficult with Meta right now flagging anything cannabis related. The boom in the industry with us getting more rec and more medicinal states is going to end up hurting us if we can't get our media figured out, and that's where we're gonna get pushed underground again by the social media aspect, because everybody fully relies on that right now.
Yeah, that is a big thing, dude. It's like you can't catch a break on.
No, nobody can.
Any kind of I see people that's like selling old ass glass on Facebook.
Yep.
Like.
And it's a great time to buy glass if you love glass.
Exactly.
And that's where those pretty much going to be the only people that we kind of have left. It's
the true collectors.
It's going to see a heavy recession. The only people that are going to be here are the ones that truly care about it, that do it because they can't stop, not because it's fun.
I know, that's how I feel, bro. I'm like, I picked a great time to start blowing glass.
Yeah, I could stop drinking, I could stop smoking, and I definitely cannot stop blowing glass. I definitely have withdrawals when I'm not on a torch.
Yeah, I don't blame you, bro. Like, when I started doing that shit, it really is addicting. And it's one of the only mediums
I don't play video games anymore. I used to play Call of Duty all the time. I used to skateboard all the time. It's like, nope.
Yeah.
Just glass.
Dude, it really is one of the only mediums that I've felt comfortable in. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've done a bunch of shit. Or just at least attempted to try a bunch of shit. But especially like art forms, like, motherfucker can't sing, can't dance. I can't do nothing like that. I'm not special, bro.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I'll make a motherfucking pipe.
And so I kind of became like a jack of all trades. Like I said, growing up in like the mega church scenes, like having to learn all the instruments in case somebody didn't show up for church.
Show them your cross.
And doing all the show them your brand. And blood in, blood out. And they fuck it, I got kicked out of Bible college. But
that's another story.
I kind of got really good at everything from like I said, the musical instruments aspect. So like I had to do graphic design, I had to do web design, I had to do sound, engineering, I had to do lighting, I had to do, drywall repairs. You know,
Yeah.
child labor is rich in the non-denominational church. So, you know, I didn't really find a style in any of these art forms though until I got into skateboarding and graffiti, when it was more like expressional, you know, action. They're very extreme sports or art forms compared to painting. And there's function involved in both of them. One, you're functionally fucking some shit up. The other one, you know, you're pulling off a trick or a technique or something that is noticeable, and like people in the scene of skateboarding know you did a good trick.
Yeah.
You know, it's got recognizability in that culture, and so that kind of translated to glass for me with the techniques. But then when I realized I could do a kickflip in glass and get paid $20 for it, whether it was a wrap and rake or a splatter tech or a fume spoon, I didn't want to skate anymore.
The boy got the equivalent of the board slap like
Yeah.
through glass. I did.
I was like, no, yeah, I can make $20 instead every time. I'll do that.
I mean, that's the way to be, man. It really is. Like, and I hope it stays consistent for you, because
Yeah, and like I said, I'm kind of an ass about it. I'll go out there and make 100 spoon pipes in a day just to go sell them for $5 or $10 a piece, just to feed the glass habit to go do it again.
Yeah.
So, you know, for like I said, for people like me and for the people that taught me that have already been through this, like Uniballer and One Trick Pony, which are the two guys that pretty much taught me everything that I know in glass and let me, you know, flourish from there. I'd already been blowing glass self-taught for about a year before I worked with either one of them, but they definitely took me from not knowing what I was doing but pulling it off to functionally understanding how glass works at a deeper level.
yeah. OTP is fire, bro.
Yeah,
His shit he's coming out with
absolutely.
is ridiculous.
And just those two guys definitely helped solidify my Florida roots for
Right.
glass blowing.
Yeah. What was it? Fucking Uniballer, bro. That's a name I haven't heard in a second.
Yeah, Hatchet, Uniballer,
Yeah, I'm about to say it was it. Yeah.
Chris T. Garden, absolute gangbuster glass blower. I've seen that man crank out a fab egg in like 4 hours flat. Just absolute menace.
That's badass. All right, I'm gonna roll up. You know, smoke, and then we'll get back to it.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah. We're back. Back just in time for Pizza Boy to tell us how you can earn a free kendama.
You have to be really cute and really fast.
For the love of God, I hope Mole Man and Bird Boy watch this.
I hope so. If you feel like reaching out to a Bird Boy Mole Man, you can ask them how to get a free cactus. You also have to be very cute and very fast. Turns out you can get a lot of things for free if you're very fast.
Boy didn't only get a kendama, I got the bucket hat too. He got
I got a Kadaba, I got the bucket hat. One time, the last day of champs, we were walking by and everybody was really hungry. And this, like, I think it was the cake bar guy. Sorry if these were your sandwiches in advance. He was yelling at his staff and he was being a real dick. And they were all sad, and he was like, they all had their backs turned, and they had this really nice plate of sandwiches that nobody was getting to eat because they were getting yelled at. So I was really cute and fast. And that's how I got to meet Elbow and GZ1, is because I totally bucked this sandwich tray, and the girl walking next to me thought it was hilarious and then asked for some of the sandwiches, and I was like, hell yeah. You can totally have some of these sandwiches. There's way too many. And she had me take them over to the booth, and it was Elbow's booth with GZ at Vegas 2022, I think. And yeah, that's how I met those guys. So it pays to steal sandwiches.
Fuck yeah, especially me and Elbow, bro.
You know, networking is a lot easier with food. I wish it was pizzas, but that's up to the cake bar guy. Unfortunately, that day he picked sandwiches.
Bro, sorry, going back to Elbow though, where is his class at again?
I know he does classes out of Corning, and then he's doing a lot of shows in Japan right now.
I was just about to say, doesn't he have a whole art
badass.
show in Japan? Like a whole like
I don't know where. I know it, obviously like in the city. I know he did something in the Philippines as well really recently, but not in the U.S. much. I think the last time that I saw he did anything was like a class at Corning Museum, which is super cool to even have the pipe industry being marketed over there. Is huge for everybody in Boro. Slop, the whole, Team Japan deal is absolutely huge. I mean, those guys have had to do so much work legislatively, even in their country.
But between
to get
that
the
in
cups
Japan
legal.
and the Buck piece being in the glass gallery, that's an amazing step up, bro. Like
It being in the Natural Museum.
yeah, like an actual museum,
Yeah, not just like
and it be a functional
glass
piece, not
museum,
just
an
like
actual museum.
yeah, not to be a sculpture, but actually be functional as well, like and to be accepted. Like it's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's a big deal. And that's where I'm saying that glass is getting pushed underground again financially to an extent, and in the sense that studios are going to be more underground because people aren't going to have the overhead and the surplus that's previously existed. But the microscope that glass is under as a whole has gotten so much broader in the last 5 years. So it's a really unique art form in the sense that our reach continuously grows, but as well as our market, but our ability to reach that audience continuously shrinks. So although our market grows, our ability to reach that market and maintain relationship with them because of the premise of what we're creating and how it's used, and the way that society still perceives it, and now the way that metaverse and digital society is perceiving it, and the way AI perceives it, is hindering our ability to actually reach our clients. I have almost 6,000 followers on my Instagram page. Maybe 100 people see my story posts, and 1,000 people see my actual page posts, and 50% of those are new people.
Yeah.
So there's a direct interference in my ability to reach people that want my work, which at the same time there is a lack of social media that doesn't have that right now.
And that's what I was about to say
Twitter,
too. Is
Facebook, X, all these other alternatives, TikTok. I don't know, some people get away with it.
Twitter has kind of fell off like a little bit just because of the Elon thing, but Instagram is completely shut down and shadow banned most artists, like in general.
Yeah,
but I feel
absolutely.
like if there was more apps that were like GlassPass and shit like that created a more social media presence instead of just like a buy here and trade like type of thing, it would be way more successful.
Yeah, the issue is that we have to create that on a broad spectrum that doesn't just isolate us again. We need to be able to reach the entire market, and if people that don't want to see our shit can't see it, then we're not going to reach the people that can see it. And that's why
true.
Graffiti is put on the
Side of a fucking building.
Side of a fucking building. That's why you put on a boxcar, a train, so it moves around different places. That's why you go all city. That's why, glass is going to have to go local again. If people in your own hometown don't know you, then, or at least have a good relationship with you,
some type of support,
then you're going to struggle really hard right now. And the only reason I'm still even able to do glass is because I have support from my local community.
Yeah. But I feel like hopefully if we get this little event set up, we get
I
the
think
close
we'll be
homies.
able to create a lot more of a market in Jacksonville for glass as a whole.
A lot of those like events and shit, they were like money grabs.
Yeah.
It's people with cheaper vendors selling fucking shitty products, and I don't know, bro. I just feel like there's a different way to approach it that doesn't seem so money hungry, and it's actually like for the artists.
Yeah, absolutely. Dab Day does a really good job with working with glass artists in Jacksonville and in Florida. I think it's Jacksonville, Tampa, and Miami right now. The Dab Day does shows in, but they do an excellent job working with glassblowers. I know I've done the majority of their shows with them for the last 4 years that I've been in the industry. And it's been nothing but positive interactions. So that's a really good example of an industry show that's still doing well. And those, like I said, those venues are still going to be here, but they're getting a lot scarcer. Like we used to have locally Swamp City.
Yeah.
We used to have Wade's World, Lifted, several other like staple Jacksonville stores that just do not exist anymore. That were also galleries, on a broader sense, or had studio space inside of them.
Sad enough about that is it's just going to continue to go down.
Exactly, but the opportunity for community to grow in that market, because there's a starving audience right now. The people that are engaged in that are missing it, need a new output.
Yeah, and see, and that's one of the things I say, like, where money is a big factor, but like it can't be when you're talking about art, because you have a lot of them where you depend on smoke shops to buy your stuff, and they're only depending on like vapes and kratom, as you said before.
Exactly.
So you need to direct,
which isn't doing as well. So their ability to buy trap trophies is not as high.
Yeah, you have to have some kind of direct like fucking.
It's not the hemp bill in 2002.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
2022, excuse me. You know, where you could buy weed for the first time over the counter at a smoke shop. And then the whole Delta 9 THCA wave in and oversaturated the market as a whole.
And then THCA had their fun run.
Still are. And so, you know, that whole thing, as much as it gave our industry more products and it did help cannabis as a whole reach more people, it's hindering the actual community's value of these products because of the oversaturation. The good products don't stand out because there's not enough profit margin in a struggling market to make them a viable option compared to the alternative, which is maybe shitty or may not even be what it says it is.
But dude, if you even look at Delta 8 and shit like that, it's a giant ploy by the government. They implement it, they give it to the people, and then they create laws around it to block it off and stop. You know what I'm saying? It's
constantly is a back and forth. You got to stay one chemical ahead, one analog ahead, one alkaloid ahead.
But that's why it goes when they're gonna move it to fucking Schedule 3, and then we'll have a new fucking task force by Christmas.
Yep. The legislation is fucked, and it's not gonna change. But the market is always there.
Yeah, very true,
The
man.
market's not gonna go anywhere. Baby lungs.
I give hash dabs and he just starts crying.
I do. I
Goes-
take my shirt
goes
off.
and sits
I lay
on his
on the
little hammock.
floor. I let the linoleum heal me. It's because he only has male rigs, and so we have to use the dome, and it just destroys him.
Male rig?
Yeah, if he had something besides a titanium hot nail, maybe I wouldn't have to cry on the ground.
Dude, you know I only smoke quartz
I'm
castles.
lying through my teeth.
Only smoke quartz castles, bro. I'm sorry. You know.
I dab off skillets at home,
Yeah.
straight off the stove. Camp skillets, they're seasoned.
I
with
still
bacon
trailer park
grease.
boy like hot knife it, dog.
Hash.
Fucking dying for shit. Mesothelioma. Fuck yeah.
Have you or a loved one been injured by CRCs?
I have. I swear to
You
God,
may
bro.
be entitled to financial compensation.
I've told everybody that. Like when I tell them about having a collapsed lung, people are like, "How did that happen?" And I was like, "Dude, first of all, when I worked at the hospital, I lied to the people and told them that I tripped and like hit my ribs." And I was like, "Oh yeah," and then like separated. Nah, bro. If you're watching this and you used to work with me, guess what? I was smoking CRC dabs and booth vape carts, and it fucking fucked me up.
That's right. This man's a liar.
I'm gonna keep my job.
Yeah, booth carts will kill you. That's
Like I generally
that's
feel
metal in your lungs.
I generally feel like I was a victim of vitamin E acetate. Like
Yeah, that was the whole thing too. The whole pesticide cart scare, like 2-3 years ago, was absolutely insane. I remember people having seizures off of like carts at the skate park, like fucking like high school kids at Jack's Beach, ripping carts and like going down.
But if I could go back
like
and grab
fishing
myself
out over a clear cart they bought on Instagram.
if I could go back and grab myself and be like, why would you smoke a Supreme cart? That makes no sense. Why are
It
you
had a
doing this to
coin.
yourself? Yeah, it was. They
It
had
came
the-
with a coin.
It came with a little scratch verification code. It came with.
It's scanned.
It's scanned, bro. It took me right to their website. It's real, dude. Totally. Swear to God.
The bubble moved.
Yeah. Nope. And that was, and that was back then. That was actually the innocent days.
Yeah.
Now they're killing you with fentanyl Adderall.
Yeah, now they're literally doing anything they can to absolutely destroy the product.
But
And that's a big thing. You got your smoke shops are carrying a whole bunch of RCs and God knows what that hasn't hit the ban list yet for the FDA or the DEA.
Yep.
It's all like, Blue Lotus.
even like you said,
What the fuck is that?
keeping one analog ahead, bro. That's just like back when they had fucking K2, and they was like,
Yeah,
it was like,
it's-
oh, is that that JWH? Oh yeah, we're just gonna
Twilight, Scooby
JWH
Snacks.
12 or whatever the fuck. We're just gonna make it JWH 24, and we're still
Yep.
gonna spray it down. Have fun with the Scooby
And that's
snacks.
the thing. It's going to be the same shit. And that's essentially what we're seeing with the Delta market right now, is that they're taking THC and they're staying one analog ahead of it.
Yeah.
Change one thing and hope for the best that it doesn't fuck people up in the long run and it gets similar results for intoxication levels or medicinal value.
Have you ever smoked Delta 8?
Absolutely.
It just gave me a terrible headache.
It just it was like any of the CBD or hemp carts.
I smoked actual concentrate.
It made me feel like a lot of times in the past year that I had bought in black market product that I had gotten that shit instead. I will say that in Jacksonville for sure. Like there were times afterwards that I was like, having tried some of this booth crap, I think I've been got a few times.
Yeah, and you still bought it.
I've been custied.
This just in. Pizza Boy's a fucking bitch. If you want to get off some
It zoomed in really close to my face.
Yeah, I was about to say, if anybody wants to get off some CRC real quick, bro.
Yeah, I'm currently accepting fronts of THCA flower and legal lean.
It was like brought you it's like brought to you by our sponsor, 7. Is that
Sponsored by 7-Ups.
That's dead, bud.
Yep, it's gold.
This brings back a fucking memory of like my aunt used to always bother me about
Wu-Tang it.
with the filter.
I don't know. I looked at you like I wasn't gonna look away until you did it, and then you're like, "No, absolutely not." And I lost it really quick.
I want to see somebody
Wu-Tang it
with the filter. Don't be a bitch.
If you just hit it and dropped the mic, we could have ended the interview right there. That would have been it, probably.
Yeah, probably because I had to fucking black out.
Yeah, we would have had to take him to the doctor and lied to him. He fell and poked his ribs again. He totally didn't Wu-Tang a cardboard roach.
Fucking jits these days,
Esophagitis.
Bro. Esophagitis?
Yeah. I don't know. That's something Jacksonville has, though, that like...
Esophagitis?
Nah, jits.
Oh, yeah.
That,
jits out the ass.
Like nowhere else I've ever lived will you just see 15-year-olds slam 24 packs and die at the skate park.
Yeah, and they also just don't care about their life. They always carry guns and...
It's insane. The amount of time... It's like our skate park locally is in the police station parking lot. And the amount of times I've had people roll through that bitch with stolos and like peel out while we're skating is insane.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, that's honestly a very basic occurrence. And it's funny seeing people come to Jacksonville, like homeboys visiting and shit, and they're just like shook by the situation. Yeah. They're like, this is Tuesday,
There's
my boy.
There's a park at this skate park. There's kids over there. It's like, yeah. But it's a skate park in Jacksonville.
Give them 2 years, they'll join us.
Yeah, and there's like a really big like wall of hate between tennis players and skaters at Jack's Beach. Now we got these old dudes will straight up swing on you. Like they took their morning perk and Jack, and they are ready to beat your ass with a tennis racket. So it is fun.
I've actually never encountered that.
That shit is golden. We used to throw shit at them.
So now you ever got attacked by a pickleball dude?
Nah, because
there's a bunch of them fucking...
Because they're pussies.
Bro, listen, there's a bunch of honkies in Jacksonville that love
Pickleball's blown up. You know, if Glass Market was doing as well as pickleball is right now, we wouldn't be having this interview in a shed.
He's like, will pickleball take over frisbee golf?
Caesars.
You think frisbee golf?
No, I don't. I don't think anything will ever take over disc golf. Disc golf is the #1 growing sport in America and has been since 2016.
I look at me. I said
shouts
that.
Out Nico LaCastro. Shouts out Gateway Disc Golf.
I said that to make him wook out.
I'm triggered.
Bro. He's wooking the fuck out.
He's gonna say something about Warhammer 40K, and I'm just gonna start crying.
No, I'm just gonna talk about him blowing Josh Kesselman. But
I don't think that Call of Duty should have Warhammer skins.
Dude, don't go.
There's no reason a Space Marine should be able to teabag Nicki Minaj. And as I say that, it's fantastic.
It's very true, but it's so stupid, bro. I don't play any of that shit.
Yeah, me either, but I want to now that you can blow fucking Cheech's head off as a fucking Astrum.
That shit's so corny, though. He's like, oh, I smoked you like my favorite strain.
They turned themselves into Fortnite for sure.
That shit's so gay.
You know.
All right, let's get back to something that doesn't make me want to fucking pogo stick a shotgun pizza. All right, so anyways, let's talk about glass forms. You started out as pizzas. You're moving on to something much different. Yeah. Fucking, talk about Fortnite. I swear to God, I'll kill myself.
Yeah, so we've been moving into a lot of Fortnite-themed glass.
Dude, how fun.
No, so getting back to the market being saturated and not wanting to do the same thing that I've been doing for 4 years, I'm kind of getting back into more toy design and more like graffiti kind of influence work in my glass work.
We'll put some pictures up.
So I've been doing a bunch of character designs. I've been doing the Pizza Punk characters and then these new Sprite characters, which are based off of like a couple different influences in the glass industry as well as the video game industry, and some stupid shit I used to draw as a kid.
Which ones are you calling the sprites? Is that
the little
demony,
little
dry
imp
rigs?
ones? There'll be rigs as well. But
the dry pipe.
The dry pipe, yeah, with the little devil horns on it and the wings.
That thing was badass.
Yeah, I'm really excited about how those come together. But basically, just doing more like larger builds, more character design, trying to explore glass as a medium, and have my work be a pipe second, and kind of stand out as a character first. I did a lot of toy design and like 3D work in Blender, and in the art toy industry before this. So wanting to get back into that kind of scene and develop characters that can be turned into toys and toys that can be turned into pipes, vice versa, is kind of where my interest is drawn now.
He's trying to influence your children.
Yeah, I'm trying to get kids to buy pipes.
We still have to make that massive ass.
I'm never
going
to get a job now.
Like, I'm never going to get a job.
Best Buy will never hire me for Geek Squad after this video.
Go back to Target. Go ahead.
I'm not sure that Target will take me back.
They're not going to. Not after what you told me.
I was a fantastic security guard. But yeah, I think that a lot of people in the glass industry are having to get real jobs again, and that's going to make them work a lot harder when they're on the torch, or they're just not going to get on it all anymore. Which
that shit cracks me up, though. I'm not going to lie,
pretty much 50-50 split. People are either quitting and selling their whole studio because it's no longer $10,000 a day, and it never should have been for them.
I love arrogance, but sometimes when like you see these motherfuckers and they're like, I sold all my shit, man, I'm going to go work at Buc-ee's. I'm like, you fucking deserve that shit,
yeah,
dog.
like,
like, you deserve that shit.
When you've been selling, like, a clear rig with some horns on it for $3,000 plus, and you can't anymore, and now you want to quit blowing glass.
You said a clear rig with horns on it? It sounds like somebody that beats their wife.
It sounds like someone that might have killed several of their neighbors' animals in a house fire.
And then beat their wife.
And went to jail.
God, this is such a positive interview.
The industry is a questionable place to raise a family.
Also, yeah, I've learned that as well, bro. Like, I've met a lot of people that I've seen as artists, and I respect a lot of them, and a lot of them I'm like, you need to take a shower.
Yeah, it is. It's a wide range of people. There's a lot of autistic, OCD, special needs glass artists like myself that are just really nerdy, weird dudes that have hyper fixated on this medium. And there's a lot of really strung out wooks that make the craziest shit I've ever seen in my life. And there's pretty much no in between.
But I can say you are a good guy. You stand out. You've actually helped me out. You don't expect much. A lot of motherfuckers fuck you over and just disappear.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Like I said, I got help from two really generous artists, One Trick Pony and Uniballer. So anytime I can repay that to people, I figure that if you don't want to do this and you're not good at it, you probably will just stop. And I don't really have to worry about it. And if you're not, then you're going to be really good and we'll be able to make shit together.
Exactly. And that's all I've been doing, dude, is just perfecting my own little process. I'm not even worried about sales, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this place is going to be awesome. You put a ton of work into this area already and have the right equipment. You haven't bought anything you're going to have to replace in 2 years.
Exactly.
Which is a big deal. A lot of people in the glass, when they start out, are like, I'll just get a small torch and a little kiln, and then within 2 months, they've outgrown their entire setup. It's going to take them a year to save up to reinvest in anything bigger.
You know what they call that? They call that the cheetah and the chili pepper fucking gimmick, dog.
Yeah, the cheetah and the chili pepper. Do not buy a chili pepper kiln. Oh, this is I've never bought one, but I've seen them just have nothing but trouble.
I mean,
I'm
they're
sorry.
convenient for they're
not convenient if they don't work.
That's true. They do shut up.
There are alternatives.
They're fucking
in the form of
boxes.
warm hair curlers on Amazon that are very easy to overdrive up to about 1,000 degrees.
I've literally been using one for the past month.
I've made full production orders of slurper sets and spoon pipes out of like a setup that could run in a motel bathroom. So if you want to blow glass, you'll figure out how to do it.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, that's it.
Hell yeah, man. Well, dude, I'm not going to make it much longer, bro. I appreciate you coming on. It's been a fucking great time.
I'm glad we're finally able to knock it out. It's been a long time coming. So
for real, man.
Finally we're able to get our schedules aligned and actually sit down and do it instead of smoking hash and making something.
We're going to get back to that now.
Yep.
Appreciate you guys joining us, man. Until next time, love you guys. Stay safe. Take it fucking easy.
Peace.